and welcome to Savagely Delightful, a podcast exposing the schadenfreude nature in all of us. Each week, your co-hosts John and Christy will be coming at you with different stories of people making the kind of dumb mistakes that we all just love to hear about.
Let me know. Say 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, it's already been recording.
God bless it.
Are you gonna... Hi, I'm Christy.
Hi, I'm John. This is Savagely Delightful.
And we are on episode 10.
Out of a million. Yeah. You're so weird. I love it.
I love you.
I love you.
And our listeners.
Whoa, no. That's aggressive marketing. No, we are super grateful, though.
Yeah, we do love you guys. Indefinitely.
God bless it. So you have any updates, Christy?
I do. We want to give a special shout out to our first Patreon supporter, and that is Allison Weirs.
I'm sorry, this is the intro that you're introduced in.
But we love you.
Yes, thank you for the support. It's been amazing.
So in honor of that, I have actually found a fun joke that I was going to share with everybody that includes her name.
Dear God. Okay. Go on.
And I found this on knockknockjokes.com, which, super original website name.
You know it's going to be bad.
Don't try too hard. You may strain yourself.
God bless it. All right, let's hear it.
Okay. Knock, knock.
To me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, who
sorry.
else is going to
I don't know.
me?
You said it was for Allison, so, I know she can't answer us right now. Sorry, go.
Knock,
sorry.
knock.
Who's there?
Allison.
Allison who?
I listen to and support Savagely Delightful. What?
That was actually really... That was dumb, but really clever.
Fucking good, right?
Yeah, that was really clever.
That's not what knockknockjokes.com had as the answer, but I changed it.
All right, well, tell me what it was.
It was something stupid, like, I'll listen to radio. Or, something stupid like that.
Well, it was just as good.
Oh, piss off. Mine was better.
We'll let the audience decide that.
Okay, well, we have 6 news stories for everybody. So, we're going to start off with our first
You
story.
are hyper.
I'm on one.
Yes.
It's been a beautiful day.
It has been.
60-degree weather when a week ago it was 6 fucking feet of snow outside.
It was nuts.
A little bit of exaggeration. It's fine. Anyways, you want to get to the stories?
Yes. I'm starting, right?
Don't you always?
Who knows? Alright, so this story was submitted by uptoelbowsincloeslaw. And yes, Cloeslaw. And so he writes, a few weeks ago, a drunk me thought it would be a grand idea to take an empty contact solution bottle and fill it with Bacardi for an on-the-go beverage.
Who fucking thinks... Okay, wait, what?
Nope, we're just going to go
They're
through
filling
this.
it in what, though?
A empty contact solution bottle.
Oh, the solution bottle. I was
Yes.
thinking an empty contact case. And then that's why I was thinking, that's not even fucking worth it.
You get, the tiniest sip.
Yeah. You, paw it out like a cat drinking water.
God bless it. So, no. You fill it with Bacardi for an on-the-go beverage. After completing this mission, I promptly forgot about it. Whoops.
No.
Fast forward to last night, I was out of contact solution, so I searched around my house and found my little Molotov cocktail thing.
They found a solution.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, everyone. Thinking it was a full bottle of contact solution. I bathed my contacts overnight in this brine and then proceeded to insert both contacts into my eyes. A few seconds later, I experienced a Kevin from Home Alone moment and screamed into the mirror.
Oh my god. That would hurt so bad.
After this debacle, a now bespectacled me, who's addicted to 5-hour energy shots, found a full one in my car. I popped that baby in no time and instantaneously noticed...
Which was just whiskey in a bottle. In a 5-hour energy bottle.
Yeah. Well, and instantaneously noticed the thick consistency and tobacco flavor.
No.
I remember that
it's worse.
my buddy...
It's so much worse.
I remembered that my buddy was using it as a spit cup the day prior, and he left it behind.
Oh,
it will be a better day. It has to be.
there's literally not much worse it can go.
Well,
oh my God.
There's so much like unpacked in this little story. So at first, he puts Bacardi in a contact solution bottle and then proceeds to insert the rum-soaked contacts into his eyes.
This is so bad.
And
oh my
then
God.
his friend uses an old 5-hour energy bottle for a dip spit
Which,
cup.
like, those are small, too.
Yeah.
So, like, you
wasn't dipping
can't
much.
even put that much in there.
No, but this dude just threw it down the hatch.
Raise your dip game.
Look, all I can say is tomorrow is a new day. Drink enough to forget about this one. Someone was trying to send you a sign.
Yeah, just down the rest of your Bacardi eye solution and start over.
Also, who just, like, sips on Bacardi?
Bacardi tastes pretty good.
It does, but, like, whenever you, like, sip on rum or something, you don't think Bacardi. Bacardi's like a mixing rum.
It can be. I mean, it's whatever you use it for.
Slight judgment over here.
Whatever, not from me.
Okay.
You have taste buds. Congratulations.
Yeah, true. Most other rum is, like, disgusting, so
Yeah,
I get
fucking
it.
gross.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that any day. Okay, I am so ready to tell you this story. This one makes me giggle a lot.
Does it giggle because I'll hate it?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it's giggle because it's like a genuine, funny, like lighthearted thing. Okay,
All right,
I'll just get into
let
it.
her rip, yeah.
Let me just get into it. Okay. Okay, so this comes to us from an anonymous source who uses... Anonymity. Okay, she says, "Oh God, this was so bad. So I, a 30-year-old woman, took my girlfriend's daughter, E, who is 7, to the shop to get some eggs so that we could make her mom breakfast in bed for Valentine's Day. We weren't doing Valentine's Day gifts this year, but E and I decided to grab some chocolates and cards to make it a bit special anyways." Which, like, good move. Still a little nod to the day to be able to, like, make it special. So, good job. Kudos.
Yeah,
Liking it so far.
A little cute something.
Yeah. Says, in the checkout line, E picks a cute card sporting a pug and a unicorn outfit. On the front, I read to her that it says, "On Valentine's Day, you make me feel like a unicorn. Adorbs, let's get it." I pick one with llamas on it, all very wholesome. We get home, and she goes to write in the card as I'm packing the groceries away. I then hear, "I think this says happy and horny."
Oh, man.
What did you say? Which, like, yeah, you would be thinking, I surely did not just hear what I fucking think I just heard. And she says, "It says happy and horny, doesn't it?" Then, like, you've got to be hoping beyond all hope that it does not. She says, let me see. Yep, the inside of this card that this little kid is about to give her mom is suddenly the most inappropriate sentiment, and I must now act fast, but have no idea what to do in this situation.
Full send. You're already there, just full send it.
My lame response was something like, yep, it does because unicorns have horns. How, silly. Dying inside, do not ask me any further questions. Which, like, yeah, oh my God, at this point, you would be praying to every god that you have ever heard of that they just drop it, especially since it's not even your child.
Right?
So they say, somehow she happily accepts this answer and finishes her message, holds up her cute drawing of the 3 of us and the dogs and cat for me to see, and all I'm staring at is this huge, giant, cursive, obnoxious horny taking up 50% of the card. Too late. Let's give it to her. And she grabs the chocolates and runs into the bedroom with me close behind, wondering how the hell I'm gonna rescue this dumpster fire of a card, as she's definitely gonna get in there first. If you've met a 7-year-old, you'll know that they don't stop talking, especially this one. So while my girlfriend is opening the envelope, E is jabbering about how she picked the chocolates and which ones are her favorites, and I'm trying to make eye contact because I cannot get a word in. And all I want to do is tell her how I didn't read the card in the store, but she doesn't hear, and now she's reading the message and her eyes go super wide, and she looks at me. E looks at her, and I make a final attempt to be super casual and say, we didn't read the card in the store. And finally she gets it and bursts out laughing, as do I.
Good.
Which, like, I can totally picture this scene playing out and, like, trying to do that whole, like, wide-eyed stare at your girlfriend so that they can, like, sense that you're looking at them and, like, straining so hard to make it known that you're trying to make eye contact and grab their attention, and them just, like, all being futile attempts and them just oblivious to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, she goes on and says, why are you laughing? Don't you like it? Which, like, that's the little girl saying it, of course. And she says, fuck. Luckily, my girlfriend is an amazing mom and grabbed Ian a huge hug, told her that she loved it so much and it's perfect, while the two of us made eye contact and completely lost it in silent giggles. All good. E was happy. There were no further questions about what horny meant, and we all had a lovely Valentine's Day breakfast. Lesson learned, never buy a card without reading the inside.
No, that's perfect.
Which, like I said, it's so funny. Like, it would be funny no matter what. But it makes your heart drop even more knowing that it's not your child that you have to, like, try and recover this situation from.
Oh, yeah. But if you have good enough friends or, like, whoever you're giving it to, then, like, it would be funny.
Yeah.
Like, if
the right humor for it to see the funny in it still.
Exactly. I know that if I had any of my friends, like, have a kid and gave that to them, they would find it hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah. And then, like, the innocent little child, like, it's a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody had left a comment on this story and says, reminds me of when my dad and I built a canoe together when I was 11 or 12-ish. I was holding all the various screws and proudly proclaimed, I'm the screw girl.
Oh my.
Dad just pauses and then says, please don't say that. Dad is like, please, dear God, do not fucking be the screw girl.
That is a dad's worst nightmare to hear that from his daughter's mouth.
Please don't say that.
His heart just sank so much. He's like, that's my daughter. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, from my next story, it was submitted by Green God 215.
Green God.
What's up with your demon voice?
It's coming out full strong.
Okay. So this happened last night. I am still feeling somewhat spacey for a reason you will soon understand, so I hope it comes out halfway coherent.
We ready?
My wife is 8.5 months pregnant, and indoor dining is still largely locked down in our area, so our potential Valentine's Day activities were somewhat limited.
Oh, we're doing like a Valentine's Day theme, it seems, so far.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Cool.
Yeah.
We've been rushing around every afternoon and weekend for the past 2 months preparing for our... What?
I said we're professionals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've been rushing around every afternoon and weekend for the past 2 months preparing for our baby's imminent arrival, while we're also trying to help her parents pack up their whole life for a cross-continent movement.
Oh, fuck.
Why her nut-job parents decided to suddenly sell their house and move to Florida a week before their grandchild is born is a whole eye-rolling worthy story in itself that I won't get into. Needless to say, we've been extremely busy and need a true night off to relax and unwind. I mean, no doubt, you guys seem to have your hands full.
Yeah.
So, there is a spa that offers sensory deprivation float tanks within a few miles of our house, and I thought it would be a good idea for us to float into the void for an hour and relieve some pre-baby psycho-in-law stress. The sessions are about an hour, and with wait times on Valentine's Day being egregious, we figured that we could call in a pickup order at our favorite sushi place, which was just up the block from the spa, and pick it up afterward.
I thought you were going to say that they scheduled a pickup for a float tank. Like, that is some crazy pickup.
They said our food would be ready at 7:30, which should have been just enough time to get there after our session. Things were falling together perfectly. Now, I am not a partaker in cannabis, largely because I found early on in my life that I am hypersensitive. When I try to explain it to people who consume cannabis regularly, I say, Have you ever taken an edible that was way too strong to the point that you're uncomfortably high? This is how I feel even after a minuscule dose of THC.
I get that. Know yourself. Get it.
Yeah. CBD, on the other hand, is non-psychoactive and completely legal in California, where I live. I have used it in the past, and it generally gives you a little bit of a calm tingliness. I would consider it to be the same benign category of herbal tea in terms of total effects. That being my experience thus far, there is a smoke shop, not a dispensary, an important distinction, in the next shopping center over from the spa, and I thought it might help me to loosen up a bit to get a new cartridge for a CBD vape that I've had for a couple of years. Because we were about to engage in a rather heady experience in a float tank, I decided I wanted to get a really big dose of CBD in me before we started.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, I got the strongest one they offered at 1,000 milligrams and 0% THC, and returned to my pregnant wife waiting in the car. As I drove up around to the spa, I had the window down, puffing away on this thing and blowing the vapor out the window and away from my wife, now eyeing me with concern. "Man, you are really hitting that thing, aren't you?" she said. "It's just CBD. It's not going to do anything," I replied confidently. And if I remember...
That sounds like it's gonna...
Right? Well, I've been to smoke shops before. I had to get gloves for my friend who was tattooing, because like he just needed them like real quick.
Yeah.
And I went over there, and like just in the counter as I was waiting for the gloves, I saw the highest that like that store sold was 400 milligrams.
Damn, and so he got 1,000?
This guy got 1,000. So, as we pulled into the parking spot in front of the spa, everything began to go south. We got out of the car and approached the door. My wife passed by and stood there. I was confused. Was this the right place? Was she having second thoughts? It suddenly occurred to me that I usually open the door for her, but I was just standing there like an idiot. So I opened the door, and the light hits me like being abducted by aliens. She began chatting with the girl behind the counter, who informed us that we were 8 minutes late for the float session, where they did have open space, but that wouldn't be able to float since the rest of the evening was booked solid. At this point, they started asking if we wanted to reschedule for another day, but I was stricken with terror that I couldn't describe in words.
Well, I mean, if he's already in that state too, you don't want to float in that state. That is a bad idea.
They were throwing out dates and times and asking what I thought, but all I could reply was, I don't know. I wanted to run out of there, but I was trapped as a third wheel in some tittering conversation about God knows what.
Tittering.
I was glad to be wearing a mask because I felt my face contorting into all manner of grotesque expressions. They finally decided that we'd just have to try and schedule something after the baby came, and I emphatically agreed. Anything to get us out the door. We got outside, and my wife asks, "Is everything okay? You seem upset. Sorry we couldn't float tonight." "Honey, I need you to drive. I'm sorry I've ruined everything."
Aww.
"Are you high?" "Yes, and I don't know why. How can they just sell this shit over the counter?"
Poor guy.
She cackled maniacally, making me even more uncomfortable. She said she needed to pee, and we should go into the grocery store next door.
Well, and she's 8.5 months pregnant. She probably pissed herself a little right there just from laughing.
Yeah, most likely. I wanted to hide under a blanket, but not wanting to further ruin our evening, and with an hour and a half to kill before our food was ready, I conceded. It was just as nightmarish as expected, and I felt everyone was watching me, and I was nearly bumping into people at every turn. She pointed out some lemon plums, which I did not believe were a real thing, until she pointed to the sign labeling these otherworldly fruits as such. She told me to pick out a few good ones while she was using the restroom and left me there. What was I supposed to get again? Right, those creepy looking lemon things. How do I pick a good one? Where does one look for to establish the quality of fruit I didn't know existed 30 seconds prior? Feeling very alone, I bagged up 3 of these mutant fruits, randomly choosing them, no coherent criteria. I tried to do a lap around the store to kill time and not look suspicious, but ultimately hid out in the paper towel aisle until she finally answered my text to come rescue me. My mouth was so dry I could barely talk, but I told her we needed to get the hell out of there ASAP.
That's a good idea, too. Hide out in, like, the paper towel aisle. Nice, soft, padded. It's non-threatening.
Yeah, but then you look like a weirdo staring at paper towels for 10 minutes.
I wouldn't give a fuck in that state what I looked like.
As we approached the checkout line, she got a very distressed look about her. She said this baby was doing something weird and that it hurt and she needed a minute. Oh God, she was going into labor.
Aww.
I, a relatively sober person, was going to be high as a kite for the birth of my daughter and won title of worst father ever from the second she was born. I was racked with guilt and shame and terror at every description. I paid for the few items my wife had accumulated walking around the store without a word to the cashier, probably still looking mad like back at the spa. We had been in the store for what felt like hours, but according to my phone had only been 18 minutes.
Damn.
We went back to the car and sat while we both tried to compose ourselves. She was having Braxton Hicks contractions and said they were likely nothing. I calmed down a bit, but still struggled to cope with everything. After about 30 minutes of deep breathing, we both started to see the humor in the situation and laughed like crazy people in my parked car until it was time to go get the food. We went home and gorged on several pounds of sushi until I regained my bearings some 4.5 hours later.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. Oh my God. Like, I totally get it.
That's a crazy amount of, like, THC.
CBD. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I don't
all
know
good.
my acronyms, people.
It's okay. CBD and THC and I have, like, a weird history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
me and Frasier. I just hate it.
That's not weird. I've never had, like, anything like that happen to me, like, from CBD. But, like, I used to be an avid pot smoker for a couple years. And then I decided to quit. And I've been about 3 years sober now. But since I did smoke so much THC so far back, like, I've tried CBD since then, and it doesn't really have an effect on me. Like, I might not have taken enough, but I just never really felt any of the supposed effects. You gotta get that 1,000
milligrams.
Probably. And I think it was because of how much that I used to smoke.
Yeah, and you just built up a tolerance.
Yeah, but I have definitely smoked so much before going out into public that I was super uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, you really do feel like an astronaut in the world and everybody's just staring at you. Like, it's not a good time. You think that, like, you're going so fast, like a normal speed, but then, like, you might see visual wisps behind you or something. Yeah. It's just a whole thing. So, I get you, bro. You guys deserve the several pounds of sushi, and that actually sounds amazing right now. Right.
Love the sushi. Okay, so my next story is coming to us from Halesbales 8, and she says, I met a woman through a job who was looking for a pet sitter for an upcoming vacation she and her family were taking. Okay, so she says, she told me to text her husband for details and to set up a time to come visit and meet their pets, so I did. I went over there and got the lowdown on taking care of everyone and got an open-ended invitation to come over for dinner sometime in the future at some unspecified date. Everything was fine, which you can tell was past tense. Let's see how this goes south. The next day, my coworker and roommate lost his phone and asked to borrow mine to text his fiancée, who was living states away at the time. I was happy to let him do so and actually just gave him my phone for the day to communicate with her. Which, like, whoa, that's super nice, and I would not let anybody take my phone for the day, no matter, like, who it was, and I'm not even, like, a person that's attached to my phone.
No, there's just so much sensitive information on those nowadays.
Well, not even that. It's just if somebody does need to get a hold of me, like, I don't want to take that away. You never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
I get that.
But, okay. So they say that night we are sitting around the table with other coworkers and roommates having a couple of beers. I got the idea that it'd be funny if I texted my friend's fiance, send nudes from my phone, and that my friend had been using to text her. She knew the phone was back with me though. So I asked my friend, coworker, roommate if he thought his fiance would think it's funny too. He said yes, so I sent it.
Okay, good for clarifying it first. It's still sketchy, though.
That's what I was thinking. Like, that's still super shady to me. Because, like, what if the poor girl really did think that her man, like, had the phone and then she, like, sent them? Like, I don't like it. But anyways, back to the story. I didn't text much at the time, so the first 2 conversations in my phone were my friend's fiance and the man whose pets I'd be watching. And I didn't put either of those phone numbers in my phone as contacts, so they were just numbers. And to my defense, they were oddly similar numbers, too.
Oh, God.
You've probably guessed by now that instead of texting my friend's fiance, I send nudes to a woman's husband.
Oh, my God.
I was horrified. If you knew the woman, it was even funnier / more horrifying. She was nice, but a very intense woman who wasn't the type to take shit from anybody. I immediately realized my mistake and apologized and explained what went wrong. But even then, he still knew that I was trying to send nudes to somebody else. He was cool about it, but he also said, "Don't worry, I already promised my wife that no funny business with any babysitters was gonna happen." I know he was trying to laugh it off and make a joke of it for my sake, but it didn't really help. Which, like, that's so freaking cringy.
Right?
I hate it so much. Okay, so she says they went on their vacation. I watched the pets. Everything was fine. About a week after they got back, the husband came to my work in the middle of the day, handed me the check with minimal greeting, and left. I never got an invite over for the dinner.
You should have sent nudes to the person, like, with the dog you were sitting.
Oh, my God. That'd be so bad. But, like, oh, my God, girl. Fucking context clues.
Yeah.
Check your convo and at least, like, the last 2 to 3 messages to make sure you're sending it to the right person.
Yeah, I've never been in a situation like that.
I mean, my sister does shit like that all the time. Where, like, she'll be talking to me on the phone and she will, like, send me a picture or a screenshot or, like, something that she is talking to me about. She will send it to the person that she's talking about.
What?
She has done that so many times. And, like, has to find a way to play it off every freaking time. But she, like, cannot focus on 2 things at once. So if she's talking to me on the phone, then, like, her mind is not on the task as it should be.
Amanda, this is looking at you. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
That's too funny. I kind of do that sometimes, like with you and my buddy Alex.
Yeah.
One time I was telling Christy that I was heading home from work, and I accidentally texted my buddy Alex and said, "Love you, babe. Be home soon." And within half of a minute, he replied instantly and said, "Love you too, see you in a bit."
Yeah.
He just rolls with the punches.
I'm just gonna have brother husbands.
Right?
John and all his friends.
We're funny. We go together well. So my next story was submitted by Will.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will. And he writes, "Okay, so this happened about a decade ago. So I graduated in 2008, height of the financial crisis, and there were literally 0 job opportunities in my field.
Get it.
I bounced around a few crappy jobs for a year or 2 before finally realizing that I needed to do something more productive. I was very fortunate to be able to get a loan to go back to school and get a postgraduate degree. When I finished my master's degree, I applied to a bunch of positions and finally had a couple of bites from employers. After interviewing for an organization that certified products for their safety and environmental performance, I was offered a position in a team, and it lined up nicely with what I wanted to do as a career."
That's awesome.
Right? I was so pumped. The small team was literally welcoming and friendly. My manager was great, and my director was genuinely a wonderful guy. For me, I couldn't believe my luck. I was so relieved to finally have my foot in the door at an organization where I could build a career and have some security.
Aww.
I wanted to do well and make a good impression from the start, and that's when it happened.
No. Oh, I forgot it was one of our stores.
Yeah.
Things don't normally end well.
I'm doing some training in my first week, reading through a bunch of technical documents. It was a little dry and my attention was wandering. My manager is opposite of me and there's a team member on my right, quietly working away. The director is in the same room talking to the certification manager. They are quite literally number 2 and 3 in terms of ranking at our company after the MD. They are discussing some equipment and my director says, "Yep, unfortunately times are changing and building those products that way doesn't seem to happen anymore. They're going the way of the... Damn, what's the name of that bird that went extinct?" "I know," I thought to myself, glancing in his direction. What is it called?" ponders a certification manager. I know. The urge to put my hand up and politely show off my prowess for extinct avians is becoming overwhelming.
Sorry, I like that
Bah,
word.
that's gonna drive me mad, the director says with resignation. Well, now he's practically asking me to tell him the answer, and I'm not gonna let this opportunity to show him how much of a good hire I am. A young up-and-comer with a broad worldly knowledge.
Yes.
A dildo!
Oh.
My manager sputters her tea back into her mug.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
looking at me horrified as my smug face slowly hears the words that I came out of my face, and I immediately try to re-inhale them. No, dodo.
It's too late.
Yep,
It's out there.
You're screwed,
It's gone.
dude. It was too late. My coworker on
No
my right was
recovery.
literally crying with laughter. My manager is covered in tea, and fortunately for me, my 2 very senior colleagues found it hilarious. For the next 5 years...
Thank God.
Right? For the next 5 years, it got raised for the Dumbest Moment Award at our holiday season party, and every year it got rejected because HR said it wasn't PG enough.
Oh my God. You're just known as Dildo Guy.
Right? Needless to say, I'm still at the organization. It's been a wonderful place to work, and I have managed to further my career as I hoped. Not sure I'll ever truly live it down, though.
That is awesome, though.
Right?
Like, it did work out in the end.
Yeah.
I knew we could do it.
First and foremost, I just want to say congratulations on obtaining a job that you love and are truly loving and it's
Like,
turned into a
happy there.
great career.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find even in current times.
Yeah.
But everyone has their moment that they've gotten too excited and said the wrong thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't let it weigh too heavily on you, especially because everyone found it so funny.
Yeah.
You're very lucky to have such humorous colleagues that get along with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you will be forever known as the dildo guy.
Yeah, but also, I feel your pain. I, somewhat recently got my master's degree, and, anymore, that, doesn't fucking matter.
Well, especially with your specification, they want experience, but also they want the background knowledge.
Yeah.
And if you don't have one or the other, then you're kind of screwed into a position.
If you don't have both.
Yeah, if you don't have both. Because you're either overqualified or underqualified.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just difficult. But super
Kinda
happy for
bit me
you
in the
for
ass.
making it through, Will.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats, you did it, dildo guy. Okay, so for my final story for the episode, this is coming to us from another anonymous source. And he says, "Never in my life have I been big into brands. My normal wear is a Carhartt shirt and the cheapest jeans that I can find.
I get that.
In the winter, I will spruce it up and wear a flannel. The only times I get a haircut from a barber is for funerals and weddings," which sounds like a true country boy.
Yep.
For sure. But anyways, he says, "Well, I remember in school seeing these shirts that said Supreme. I thought it was kind of different, kids wearing this brand, and man, they were proud of these clothing pieces. My whole life, the only Supreme brand I knew was toothpaste. I believe Colgate makes it. So to my complete confusion, these shirts kept popping up more and more.
These people love this toothpaste.
I honestly thought these folks just had a better dentist than I did. I'd get free toothpaste and a toothbrush, and these guys get freaking free shirts.
Right? And then just flaunt it.
I forgot about it. Figured it was like the guys with the monster tattoos. If they want to represent a toothpaste company, more power to them.
I forgot about those.
Which, like, freaking gross. A dude with a monster tattoo, you can just rest assured knowing that their name is probably Kyle.
Yep. Has a whole bunch of holes in his drywall.
Oh, absolutely.
And, what is that, an Ultimate Fighter t-shirt?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, my boss is telling me how expensive this shirt is. Expensive to me, and that it's Supreme. Okay, now I get wearing free merchandise that's given to you. Hell, I've only ever bought 2 hats in my life. All the rest have been given to me as advertisements.
Perfect.
It stumped me more. People actually paying this big money to advertise a toothpaste?
Oh, yeah. If you look how much Supreme stuff is, it's exorbitant amounts.
He's still thinking it's toothpaste.
Yeah.
So he says 4 out of 5 dentists recommend it. Yeah, well, that doesn't mean jack when it's changed enough people's lives that they want to spend $60+ on a shirt doing free advertisement for them.
Right?
So
only
says,
60?
I don't know. That's just what he says.
I was thinking, like, some of the stuff is in the hundreds.
Yeah, I mean, could be. I have no freaking clue. But he says, well, today I learned it's not just a toothpaste. I feel so stupid. I don't know if I underestimated people's abilities to care about brands or overestimated their ability to love a toothpaste. But the font and everything is the same, and it's going to take some unlearning to do.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's great.
But he's like, damn, Colgate's really out here changing the dental game. Like, props, Colgate.
Yeah, if they get enough, like, marketing and...
you get the shit on lock.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's too funny, though.
I love it, though. Like, his whole 4 out of 5 dentists recommend it, that ain't got shit on them.
Yeah. I never understood the huge Supreme wave, though. I've never bought anything like that. Yeah, and I always thought that, Supreme stuff was even more expensive in, like, the $100 or $200 range like that.
I have no idea. I'm not a big brand names person either.
Me neither.
Anymore, I shop Amazon for clothes because you can easily return at UPS or Kohl's now.
I was going to say,
game.
I just go to Kohl's.
Right?
Kohl's or Walmart
It's
for
so
work
fucking
shirts.
easy. So much cheaper. Fuck brand names.
Right?
But I thought that was hilarious.
It is. That's a good one, babe.
But yeah, so those are our stories for this episode. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, and thank you again, Allison.
Yes, we love you, Allison.
And we really appreciate your support.
And everybody else, but definitely Allison.
So be sure to send us your stories at savagelydelightful@gmail.com, and all of our other tags and stuff are in the outro.
Our socials that we got, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those good stuff.
Got it all.
If you like what you hear, once again, though, definitely leave like a rating if it's Apple Podcasts for sure, because those help more than anything basically to help get the word out. So if you could do that, that only takes like 2 seconds. And if you don't have Apple Podcasts, then you can always make a profile on there. It takes like 5 seconds.
Or just whatever podcasting viewing you're on.
Yeah, but you can just like leave a review and delete.
Yeah.
Don't care. But yeah, that's all we got, people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye. So, you may have made a mistake today, but at least you didn't mess up as badly as the people we discussed. And if you did, we'd love to hear about it, and we may even feature your story on an upcoming episode. You can find us online at www.savagelydelightful.buzzsprout.com, on Twitter at savage_delight, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Savagely Delightful. If you like what you heard today and want to show your support, please consider donating to us on Patreon at patreon.com/savagelydelightful. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future episode releases, and please consider leaving a review so it's easier for others to find our podcast.